Hello, welcome to Jenny's Food Network. My next topic is I wanted to talk about the juicing effects. Like, for example, you're like, what are you talking about, juicing effects? What I'm talking about, I remember I did a video about juicing versus smoothies, and I gave my reasonings to why I thought smoothies were considered a better choice than juicing, and so on. So today I want to talk about the juicing effects in terms of how some people go through this 100-day or the 3-month juicing diet, or they go through this 10-day juicing diet or 1-week juicing diet. Like they buy their own juicer machine, and what it does is it separates the fiber from the juice, and usually sometimes people throw out the fiber, or they use it for part of their soups or whatever, or they use it as part of their organic soil for their garden, and then they just drink the juice. So what I feel about the juicing, I feel like the juicing is kind of like people's shortcut. Like, people may feel like, oh, it's healthy, it's great, you get all these nutrients, you know, but then at the same time, people who go on it too long, sometimes you may kind of feel tired and lack of energy. Like, if you exercise a lot, really strenuously, and you're just living off the juicing, sometimes people feel a little lightheaded, or they feel like just very easily exhausted because they're just depending on the juicing, and they're not even focusing on eating like more fiber, because fiber is what makes you feel fuller. And just drinking the juice alone after juicing all those vegetables and stuff, you know, it just makes them feel just very hungry, very exhausted easily. And so, and sometimes when people go on these juicing diets too long, they just feel like very low energy, or like just feeling hungry all the time. Because just think about it, you have already removed all of these really healthy fiber from the vegetables, and you're just drinking the juice alone. And that's gonna make you very hungry. It's like you drink it, it just gets flushed into your bladder, and then you just go pee it out. I mean, how's that supposed to be making you feel fuller, you know? And I think it's just strange how it's such a very popular thing to do, to be on the juicing diet, you know? And in most cases, people will gain a lot of weight back. Like, for example, they lose a certain amount of pounds, and they're so excited that they're losing weight from going on the juicing diet, you know, of just drinking like the juicing stuff, that they've separated the fiber out, you know, and they're just really excited. They're doing it for 10 days, or they're doing it for 90 days or 100 days, or for 2 months. It doesn't matter, whatever choice they decide. And, you know, there's, okay, let's say they're seeing results. Yes, I'm losing weight. This is great. You know, I love to do this, but I want to lose weight for the wedding. I want to lose weight because I'm going to prom. I'm losing weight because I want to get a new wardrobe. I want to feel good about myself. But at the same time, I think that people are just sacrificing a lot by just thinking that, you know, this is magic. But then once they get off the juicing diet, they just don't even know how to, I feel like in most cases, people don't even know how to even cook anymore, or they don't seem to like know what to eat anymore, or when they eat something, they will gain a lot of weight back. Like, I forgot that man's name who was, he was the one who did a documentary to travel across the world or whatever. I really forgot his name. And he was in the documentary called Sick, Fat, and Nearly Dead or something. That's what it's called. I don't know if it's called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, whichever way. Okay, so that's the documentary that he did, where he ate nothing but just drink the juice that he had put through the juicer machine, okay? So he won't eat the fiber, he'll just drink down the juice. And so he did that for quite a long time, and he had shed a lot of weight, okay? But the thing was, after the documentary was over, you know, he was invited to do interviews and so on. He was really popular. And then later on, people were saying that he started to gain a lot of weight back because he just didn't seem to be able to understand the concept of, this is a juicing diet you're going through, and after you get off of it, and when you eat other foods, you have to stick with a very healthy lifestyle of intaking the type of food, and really understand what it's going to do to your body. So it's going to be really tough to decide how strict he's going to be on his food intake, okay? And so they're saying something like he was eating hamburgers again, he was eating like really unhealthy foods again, and he was starting to put the weight back on. And so it just shows like it's such a sad shame that people are so thinking that, you know what, I haven't been taking care of myself, I'm going to go through this juicing diet or whatever type of diet to keep my weight off and weight down. And they don't realize like, okay, well, I don't think you're gonna last very long in this diet because it's very strict on what you can intake in food in order to lose weight. And then if they do any changes in their diet, like just one little mistake can lead to like a non-stop binging. That's the problem. Like people don't realize like, oh, once I get off this juicing diet, I've lost the weight, I can get back into my regular routine, but just maintain a low-calorie meal and eat very little portions at a time, or eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. Do you know how difficult that is for people to do, to just stick to a very strict low-fat diet and sticking with healthy fruits and vegetables only, mainly as possible, and cut down intake of meat and watch out for sweets? Like, I mean, like, okay, we're human. You know how many holidays we have each year? We have the Thanksgiving, we have the Christmas, we have the New Year's, we have the Memorial Day. Oh, don't forget, we have spring break too, right? When people go on vacation, they drink alcohol, they go on vacation, they go have a blast and party all night long. And we have a lot of, we have St. Patrick's Day, which is a huge celebration as well. You know, we have the Chinese New Year celebration in January or February or sometimes in March. And so what else? Some big celebration. You know, just Easter is a big celebration as well. And so there's tons of celebrations going on throughout the entire year. And you're telling me that it's very easy for the majority of the people in this world, whole wide world, to stick with a low-fat diet, a low-sugar diet, a high, healthy, nutritious meal every day. That's almost like telling people to don't go out to eat because majority of the foods out there are unhealthy and very high in grease. It's telling people to don't go to the grocery store and stay away from the snack section aisle, stay away from the cakes and donuts, stay away from the ice cream aisle, and stay away from the sweet candy chocolate aisle. And it's also telling people to don't eat the birthday cakes at the birthday parties. Don't go eat those little treats at those event get-together potluck events. Don't go to that event because it's going to have alcohol, it's going to have snacks, it's going to have lots of hors d'oeuvres, it's going to have dessert, it's going to have all these nice, you know, yummy wine there and alcohol beverages, you know. It's almost like telling people not to do anything. And you know, in most cases, a lot of people cannot control that situation. So they will go to the parties, they will binging on these goodies, they're going to go into these holiday celebrations and stuff. So it's going to be really hard to control their so-called healthy lifestyle diet at all times. So what I'm saying is that the juicing diet, it's just a poor concept of people thinking that, you know what, I'm just going to do this diet temporarily because I need to lose the weight for my wedding or for my party or for my anniversary party or for, I'm going to be the bridesmaid at a wedding, so I want to be able to fit into this size dress for the wedding and so on. It's just like, it shouldn't even have to be that way. It shouldn't even have to be like you're just losing the weight for a certain event. You should already be eating healthy and losing the weight gradually and have it continue to the proper weight that you're supposed to be at in a healthy way. Freddie's sitting there and is kind of uncomfortable doing a video. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when I'm nearby when he's doing a video because he feels that I'm eavesdropping. I know he's sitting right there right in front of me so I can see him in the corner of my eye as a distraction. Okay, Freddie. Okay, anyway, so that's what I'm saying about the juicing diet. It's just like a poor concept. So by the way, so back to that man who did that documentary where he traveled all over the world, whatever, and all he was intaking was just the juicing stuff that he was preparing, okay? And he would not eat anything else. So yeah, so they said that he started gaining weight. He started to eat all these meats and other types of food that were not healthy. He was gaining a lot of weight back. So I don't really do follow-ups on about his life because I have no interest, honestly. But I'm just saying that he created the start of like making people really into the juicing because they wanted to lose a lot of weight like he did. And people don't understand what they're I feel like it just messes up people's head a bit, because it's like, okay, so you do the juicing diet, so what do you eat now that you're off the diet? Are you gonna go back into your hamburger and hot dogs? Are you gonna go back into your snacks and chocolates and candies and ice cream and yummy birthday cakes and like the barbecue days? I mean, when the weather gets nicer, people go on picnics, they go barbecuing outdoors. You know, there's alcohol involved, there's hamburgers, hot dogs, everything you can imagine. Brats are really fattening, and there's always desserts at the end also. It's just like, it's like so scary that you cannot even avoid food because there's food everywhere, and people tend to overeat and enjoy and indulge. So my point about the juicing effects is that I think that it just messes up people's head. It really does. And I feel that the juicing, it's not a good concept idea, because the machine that you're buying is separating the fiber from the juice. And like I said, those fiber are so crucial. That is what makes you full. And just drinking down just the juice, that's going to make you more hungry, because your body's is going to naturally crave for fiber. And you're going to feel more hungry and more hungry. And I think it's going to affect your sleep pattern too, because it's hard to sleep on a hungry tummy, okay? When you have fiber in your stomach, it's going to help you sleep much better. So I feel that there's people that I've known who feel irritated because they just crave for that fiber, and they're just drinking nothing but the juicing thing. It's so bizarre, and it's going to make you just very tired easily. If you work out very strenuously on a good workout, you're going to feel very lightheaded afterwards, because your body is still craving for that fiber, and all you're getting is just nothing but liquid in your tummy. So I feel like there's really no balance there, because the balance, once again, is the fiber. The fiber and the juices that were separated, those two together is your balance. And without the balance, your body's going to feel very awkward, you know? So I mean, hey, you could try it for yourself, okay? If you want to do the juicing, fabulous for you, but your body's still going to need fiber from other foods. There's people who do strict diet of just juicing alone. They don't eat nothing but just drink the juice. Like, they don't balance it with like other foods, you see? And so, I don't know, I think that juicing mentality just really messed up people's head. Like, people these days will almost do anything they can just to lose weight. And they don't understand the concepts of it, of the side effects, how it mentally affects you, the way you think about things, and the obsession of wanting to lose weight and thinking that if I just drink liquids alone, I'll start losing weight. But don't forget, when you get off that juicing diet, you might even gain more weight than what you had lost, okay? So that's just a thing to just watch out for. I think keeping your mind healthy in terms of balance, that will really help you get the results you want. And don't forget, you have to exercise no matter what. What you eat will always go over the daily recommended for your body. So exercising is what's going to help burn out the extra excess of fat and calories that you're intaking from the food that you eat every day. So you can't avoid exercise. You have to do your exercising. Even if it takes 20-30 minutes of brisk walk outside, or light jogging outside, or even on your treadmill, or some sort of activity to keep your body moving. I mean, sitting still, watching TV, being on the computer all day, that's where the weight gain just stays on your body and you're not burning much at all. So, you know, I'm just telling you that just be aware about the popularity of juicing out there and the side effects from it, which, like I said, I've mentioned that once you get off that diet, you're going to start binging on food because you're just so like craving for fiber. Your body's craving for it, and you might start getting a lot of weight back. And if you can't stick to that lifestyle of eating constantly healthy stuff, if you're going to go back into eating the unhealthy stuff, you're going to gain so much weight back. And don't forget, when you go through such a long process of not intaking fiber in such a long period of time, your body's going to start to not recognize how to break down fiber like it used to, okay? When your body does not remember or recognize a certain type of food product in your body in such a long period of time, it's going to have a hard time breaking it down. And it's going to be slower. It's going to be a lot slower process for it to break it down. And so you're going to have a hard time understanding why you're not feeling well or your body's not working well is because your body has not broken down fiber in such a long period of time that it's going to be slower in breaking it down, and your metabolism is going to have to work extra hard to break it down. So your body's going to go through some weird stress, okay? Just like that, what's that, the man who was talking about the carb diet of like, what's his name, Freddie? The man who died, who slipped and hit his head. And, what was he famous for? Atkins? Oh yeah, the Atkins diet. Okay,
he
like.
died?
Well, yeah, he died a long time ago. He slipped in ice and cracked his head and he died.
Really?
I told you that already. I swear, I tell Freddie things a million times. He doesn't remember certain things. Weird. Oh yeah, the Atkins diet. Dr. Atkins. That was another like a weird diet thing. Okay, for the Atkins diet, that was such a huge popular blowout. Okay, saying that talking about the more high protein you intake, the more weight you lose. The more you cut on carbs, the more weight you will lose as well. Okay, so it's really cool. Like about this documentary I saw that they did the study on the Atkins diet. This is even after he had passed away. They did this documentary, which was very, very interesting. So anyways, before I get to that, I want to talk about how, okay, people who were on the Atkins diet, for example, they had cut carbs off as much as possible. They would even like, and they would cut sugar too. So they would cut off a lot of fruits from their diet, you know, because they say that fruits have a lot of sugar, you know, so they would even cut fruits off their diet, okay? And they would cut carbs. So high carb foods like white rice, like white jasmine rice is, for example, that's considered like a high carb food item. So they would even stop eating rice, bread, bagels, any type of bread, bagel-like stuff, dough stuff. They would eliminate all carbs. So they didn't, like, they would eat a sandwich without the bread bun. It's really funny, isn't it? So they would like stop eating bread, they stop eating bagels, they would stop eating anything that has bread, okay, that has carbs, okay? So that's what they were doing. So what happens is that they're saying like how that's not really good, because so when people went on this carb diet where they eliminate carbs as much as possible, they would eliminate fruits too a lot too, because it's high in sugar, they will see themselves as, and stick with a high protein meal, okay? So they would eat a lot of meat, right? And so they would say like, oh yeah, so people start losing weight, it works, the Atkins diet is a fabulous, a genius thing, it really, really works, you know, it's amazing. And the thing was, once people got off the Atkins diet, they started to gain weight like crazy. You know why? Because, okay, so now that they're off the Atkins diet, now they go back into eating bread, they eat bagels, they eat pasta, you know, pasta noodles, they eat rice again, they were eating whatever they wanted again, you know, and so they would start gaining a lot of weight. So I saw this, and so, you know, okay, what was happening was like, they're saying like how once you have stopped eating like high carb food items, your body changes as well, okay? So once you get back to eating carbs again, high carb food items, your body doesn't really know how to recognize the carbs anymore. So then they start having a hard time breaking down the carbs. So then what happens when your body's not able to break down carbs in the body properly, and it's having a hard time and it's breaking it down very slowly. So what happens, the result is that the body starts to gain weight. Isn't that awful? I've known some people who said, oh, I lost 8 pounds on the carb diet in just like 2 weeks. It was wonderful, you know? Okay, but they couldn't keep up with the carb diet. They love food. They're human. They need to live, so they have to eat food. Once they got off the diet, after they lost the weight, they started eating carbs again. Their body couldn't recognize it, how to digest it properly. And so what happens is that the body ends up gaining a lot of weight very quickly. They end up gaining weight more than what they had lost. I even had a close friend of mine back then where, like I said, she lost 8 pounds. She ended up gaining more than 8 pounds. And she wasn't taking care of herself, and so she gained like 40 pounds, okay? So she was overweight, and she's not very tall. She's about my height, you know, 5 feet 1.5. So you gotta be very careful on about what type of diet you get into, because the best part is just to be balanced at all times. Don't get yourself into a strict diet of like really eliminating a lot of type of foods, you know what I mean, and just keeping it down low calorie as possible. Because don't forget, when you cut yourself down so much to very low calorie foods and stuff, and if it really goes to a point where your body's craving for the really healthy stuff or fiber and stuff, your body might start getting into a binge mode and start eating like crazy. So you have to really, really balance yourself, okay? And so this documentary I want to get into, I will actually do a, I don't know if I should separate this video, but I'm going to go ahead and stop now. So I will do another video part. Thanks for watching.